Welcome back to Agentic AI, the future of intelligent systems. Today's episode isn't about the next breakthrough in planning or execution. It's not about a new architecture or metric, it's about something more personal, something you're doing right now, consuming content. Think about the last five things you read: an article, a social media post, a podcast summary. Maybe you nodded along, felt informed, even shared it, but take a step back. How much of that content was truly original? How many layers deep are we from the actual source? This is the AI content loop. It begins innocently enough. A researcher spends months crafting a 200-page paper. Someone writes an analysis of that. A journalist condenses that analysis into a crisp article. A content creator turns that into a social post. An AI tool summarizes that post into a headline. You scroll past it in under 3 seconds and feel like you've learned something. But have you? We're no longer consuming the idea, we're consuming a reflection of a reflection of a reflection. And in that loop, something critical disappears: depth. This isn't just about AI tools, it's about how we've trained ourselves and our systems to compress, condense, and repackage thought into something that fits into a tweet, a summary, or a quick reply. We write, machines compress, we consume. Then we rephrase it and share again. The loop continues and nuance quietly fades. Let's take a few examples. A journalist spends weeks investigating a complex policy issue. A 3,000 word piece is published. Within hours, it's summarized into a blog post, then reduced to a 50-word caption. Then AI turns it into a 3 sentence blurb. Eventually, a chatbot gives you a clean, definitive answer, but one stripped of all caveats, debate, and context. Or a scientific study, rich with limitations, methodology, caution, gets reshaped into a press release, then a news snippet, then a headline promising far more than the data ever claimed. What remains isn't wrong, it's incomplete. Even original thought leadership faces this. Someone writes a piece exploring a new angle in technology or business. It gains traction, but soon that insight is sliced, reframed, and regurgitated so many times that it no longer feels fresh. It feels like background noise, and perhaps most subtly, conversations, hour long exchanges between experts get clipped into 30-second viral moments. Those moments are remixed, quoted, and synthesized until they feel like facts. But without the full discussion behind them, we lose the weight of reasoning. Now let's be clear: summaries aren't the enemy. Efficiency has value. Compression is a tool. But somewhere along the way, we've started mistaking the summary for the source. We've begun to treat a neat package of insight as the full picture. So when you hear an AI generate answer that sounds authoritative, pause and ask, does it represent the whole truth or just the most agreeable part? Because here's what's at stake. If we only consume what's compressed, we start thinking in compressed patterns. We echo the same phrases, cite the same ideas, feel informed without depth. The diversity of thinking shrinks, originality begins to fade, not because it's gone, but because it's drowned in repetition. That's the cost of the loop. But there's a way out. Think clearly, ask precisely, create with intent. Instead of relying on what feels familiar, go one level deeper. When you consume, ask, what's the source? What's missing? What assumptions were made? Why does this feel true? And is it? When you create, resist the urge to simply repackage what's already out there. Find your own lens. Anchor your thoughts in something real. Contribute, not just rephrase. And when you pause to think, really think, remember, It's not about being faster, it's about being deliberate. In a world that's increasingly built to think for you, your edge is your ability to think for yourself. The content loop will continue, but you don't have to be caught in it. Thank you for joining us on Agentic AI, the future of intelligent systems. If you found today's episode thought provoking, feel free to listen again slowly and maybe trace something back to its source. Until next time.